Whose intro is it, dude? It's been so long.
That's a good question. Let's find out.
Who knows at this point? Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. This is your local Eli doing an intro to the Staying in Tune podcast with Brandon and Eli. Brandon's sitting across the table from me, eh? And welcome to the podcast.
You just threw me off so much because I had no idea you were going to do that voice.
What are you talking about, pal? This is my voice, eh?
If you do that the whole podcast, I might have to get up and leave.
Well, welcome to the podcast with your Canadian Eli. And this is me for the whole podcast. I'm losing my mind.
I don't think you're going to be able to keep this up.
What are you talking about, bud?
It's going to be a long episode.
This is going to be horrible.
I got a serious topic to discuss with you.
Talk to me, bud.
I want to know what your thoughts are on the upcoming AI revolution.
Oh boy there, pal. Oh boy there, pal. What a conversational topic.
Because I'm sure you have some thoughts.
I think that it's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
There it is.
Yeah, it came up. I can't keep it while I'm thinking. Yeah, man. I think it's complicated, right? Because in my head, I want to think that AI will not be powerful enough to take over everything. However, I'm very aware enough of how all these computer systems work to know that it's going to happen.
Right.
I wish it wouldn't. I'm really frustrated that all these AI bots have started popping up on all my social medias.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. And it's a point of conversation of a lot of people.
It is.
Like all these AI
it's
bots.
everywhere right now.
And they'll just start talking to them. And it's like, dude, I'm be real with you. I'm not talking to my AI bots. The less information they can get from me that I feel like I'm giving them by choice, the better.
Right.
Because at least at the end of the day, I would know that I gave them that information by choice.
Yeah.
For people that don't know what we're talking about, or at least what I'm referencing right now, is there's so many AI chatbots that exist at the moment. And they're just AI computers, artificial intelligence, that you can type messages to. I'm sure there's ones exist that you can speak to, and they'll translate it into text form for themselves to understand.
Right now, it's pretty much just all predictive.
It's all predictive
responses,
right? But it's still AI, and it's still being put out there. And there's tons, thousands of millions of people that are talking to these AI, these robots, these artificial intelligence, and they will just whatever it is that's on their mind, they'll just start typing it in there because they need somebody to talk to, which I understand, but I don't think it should be a robot. Because frankly, once you start talking to that AI chatbot or whatever, you're giving it whatever information you're giving it.
Yep.
And I would tread carefully because there is no way legally that you're winning a legal battle if you give them information and then that information that you give to that robot, to the artificial intelligence, gets misused.
Yeah. No, that's totally true.
Like, that's just the kind of what you sign away once you start.
Even if there was a way, the laws just aren't there yet. Like, it's moving faster than
they're not
the
there.
laws will ever be able to catch up.
Exactly. It is moving painfully quick. Once I started noticing and, like, really noticing all these, like, AI chatbots and everything start popping up, it's like, Jesus, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, I understand the, like, kind of, what's it called? Not, like, need for it, because there's no need for it. There's really not a need for AI chatbot. But the desire to have it.
Yeah.
Just for the experience. Like, I understand. But we need to have some, like, frame of mind of, like, okay, what are we really getting into? And what's the power of these computer systems?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of arguments of, like, humans programmed it. It's never going to get out of the range of humans.
This is where I get scared. This is why I'm scared.
Everything that a computer does is logically proven from something else, so they can't be creative. Yeah.
See, I get scared because of that very reasoning right there.
That people are defending it from that?
No, that people are the ones that are programming it.
Exactly.
Because right now, they may have good intentions, but what happens if somebody with bad intentions, who knows how to program it, starts programming it?
And
now it's doing bad stuff.
Yeah, and newsflash to everybody. There are thousands of people that have bad intentions that know how to program this stuff, and honestly, probably have ins to these AIs that people are utilizing already, and probably have had ins to these AIs since they were in early development.
Right.
Because computer systems are very complicated.
Yeah. So that's the thing, like, all these big companies who are introducing AI bots right now, they can come out and confidently, publicly say, we have not programmed these bots to do anything of malicious intent. And that could be very true.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that somebody else
everything's hackable.
Isn't.
Yeah. And that code is reconstructible. You can backwards code all that stuff.
I mean, you could have the top executive person who helped develop that just break away any day.
Yeah.
And just start
and they know all of the details.
Just going AWOL.
Exactly.
It could be a terrorist attack, basically.
Anybody that's in the upper echelon of those systems that knows or is familiar with all of the components that went into it.
Yeah.
And it's not in my eyes, there's no good way it turns out.
Nope.
I know cyber warfare is very real and very dangerous, like debatably more dangerous than like nuclear warfare, like genuinely, because guess what all of those things are controlled by? Your electronics, dude.
Yep.
They're all on a network. That network gets touched, tampered with, it all can go to crap very fast.
I think the second that and it's going to happen very soon. It's already been happening in experimental ways, but the second that it starts happening on a more large scale basis, where they start combining AI with robotics, I think that's going to push too far.
Well, have you seen videos and stuff of like Japan? Dude, they have so much like AI robotic stuff, and first of all, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not talking to a robot.
I know that
there's a front desk.
There's one, I think you would consider it an android, that has been legally given citizenship in a country.
I've heard about that. I don't know where it is or what the name is or anything.
It's Sophia, I think is the name of it.
But dude, that android goes rogue?
Yeah. And that's the thing,
what are we
right
doing?
there. You could say, well, it's programmed not to. Okay, what if someone hacks it?
What if someone hacks it? What if that AI develops on itself and recognizes, after enough processing and machine learning, that I can get around these emergency systems that are coded in me to exist differently?
Right.
And to exist kind of on my own. And then it's like, dang. And the creativity argument, I think, is as interesting. I really do. Because it's a common argument. It's like, they can't think creatively. They think logistically, right?
Yeah.
I think that creative thinking is thinking logistically in a manner that other people don't think, or other people haven't tapped into as much.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
I really do. Like, I think a creative thought process has logical steps that go to it, or at least logical traces at the end of the day.
Right.
Like, you can trace a creative project, like some of the most creative art in history. So many angles and like studies have been done on it to create all these different, just like analysis of paintings and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was creative thought at one point in time, but now it's been traced back logically. And there's like data on these paintings of angles, colors, the relationship of all this stuff.
Right.
It's such detail that, like, is it really creative or is it just logical thinking on a very nuanced basis?
Yeah. It's all, I mean, it's about perspective, really.
Yeah, and that's creating new solutions. So this is also interesting. You bring up topics I always just want to like keep talking about forever.
I wanted to bring something good for today, and this has been on my mind for the last 2 weeks since we recorded last.
Hey,
so.
2 weeks since we yeah, that's right. No, but it's like product development, stuff that's like inventions, innovations, stuff that's supposed to be creative. So much of that is done by AI and machine learning and insights, which is all data and logical thinking. Right. Like most of your products today that are product developed are not solely created or even probably mostly created by somebody sitting at their desk drafting things up on a piece of paper. Most of your innovations are all computer generated.
Yeah.
And that's how that stuff comes to be. That's why you get a new iPhone every 6 months or whatever. That's why just everything develops. Cars are coming out every year.
Yep.
That's all machine learning. That's not nearly as much people drafting behind a computer as it used to be.
No, not at all. And it's going to continue to decrease, I think.
And that's creative thinking. So.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's moving in a direction, though, where we aren't... I think it's going to start... How do I say what I'm trying to say? I don't think we're going to be able to keep up with it.
No chance, dude.
Like, we're in over our heads.
I think we're already in over our heads, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have people that you were saying, everybody has a different mentality towards it, okay? And, like, acknowledging that, that's already too much.
Yeah.
This stuff is developing so fast.
Yep.
We are on machine learning where there's androids and robots, artificial intelligence, doing everyday person jobs. We didn't have an iPhone 20 years ago.
Yeah, even less than that.
Even less than that, dude. We were using a scroll wheel on an iPod. What was it? 13 years ago, dude.
Yep.
It's moving so fast.
It's moving exponentially, too. So, like, every year that goes by, it's going to increase more than it did the last year.
Exactly.
And
just... honestly, all these AI robots, and this is where I see it the most at the moment, that popping up out of nowhere so quickly in the last few months.
Yeah.
It's just like, we've lost. We've lost. And I'm not saying that, like, I believe that humans will adapt to live with the computers, but that's the way it's going to have to work.
Yeah.
Is humans adapting to learn with the AI.
What kind of impact do you think that will have on just social day-to-day life?
Dude, people are already talking to AI.
Yeah.
I think it's already had an impact. And it's actually a really upsetting impact for me as somebody who likes to just kind of like do face-to-face. I don't even like to talk on the phone. I'd rather just talk face-to-face.
Right. Because, like, if you think about it, like, it's already been such a concern with phones.
Yeah.
Like, people don't have the same social skills they did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to texting.
Yeah.
So another 10 years from now, maybe even less, when people are so used to using AI, that may be what our future in 10 years from now looks like.
Yeah, exactly. That is...
what will social life look like then?
I think 10 years might be a fair shot.
Will people talk to each other face-to-face at all?
They better, dude.
Or if they do, will they know how to?
Yeah, I don't know
what I mean?
And then, that's just a really weird thought, is like, how does that tie into depression? Right?
I think it's going to have very interesting effects on...
in
some ways it may help, and I think in a lot of ways it won't help.
I think it potentially could kind of flip the direction that it's been going.
Yeah.
Like, help the people that it's been affecting a lot, and then hurt the people that it's not been affecting a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Like, I think totally society itself is like, what's the norm and what's not, gets flipped on its head. Like, totally upside down as we know it right now, which is wild to think about.
So I think what that's going to do is the people who are trying to isolate themselves who shouldn't be,
right?
It's going to make it easier for them to do that. And I think for people who don't want to, they're going to be forced to do it.
Right, and I think that's the difficult turn that's going to take a toll on a whole bunch of people. And also I think it would benefit the people, and they already have this benefit, but it would benefit them more, the people that don't want to they don't feel physically comfortable in the same area as somebody, but they still want to talk.
Yeah.
Like, they still want to communicate with people.
Yeah.
I know that's a population, but like it's still like I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish genuinely wish just could stop technology. I would rather genuinely, this is genuine by the way. I would rather go back like 60 years in time than keep going forward for another 60.
Yeah. I can see that.
Like, I don't actually want to know what happens with this technology.
Right.
Because frankly, I'm very scared of the technological warfare possibilities that literally
it's very scary.
Nobody has tapped into yet, but is very realistic and likely and possible.
I mean, this is so scary to even say, but I feel like it can be, oh my gosh, it can be compared to like a virus. Like we're experimenting with this stuff right now, and any day, it could just blow up in our faces, and we had no idea it was going to happen.
Right.
I mean, some people do know it's going to happen, and
right,
like us right now.
Right. And then the other thought just popped into my head is what if like it doesn't even get to the point where it's like controlling all of society?
Mm-hmm.
What if AI gets to the point? Because again, it is a computer, so you have to think of like every single possibility. Because it's genuine, like it's predictable.
Yeah.
But like, how predictable is predictable until it's unpredictable?
Yep.
What if the computer's just like, yeah, no, this isn't good for any species alive, and it shuts itself down, and it creates this massive chain of things, and all of these networks shut down.
That's the other thing that I preach to a lot of people is dependency on it, just technology in general.
Yeah,
we're getting more and more dependent on technology as a civilization.
On all levels.
What happens when power goes out, and you don't know how to live without it?
That's crazy.
Like that is such a scary thought.
That's crazy, dude. The other day,
30, 40 years ago, that wouldn't be a concern. Power goes out, you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I'll just keep on doing my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's like, I don't have my phone. I don't have Wi-Fi. Well, how am I going to do life now?
Dude, the other day, when it had that random old snowstorm, right? The massive, wet, heavy snow that dropped down out of nowhere here in the middle, late April.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, dude.
Gotta love it.
Power went out at my house. And my family's all home, and they're freaking out. They're like, oh, how are we going to watch the basketball game now? So how are we going to do this? And how are we going to do that? It's like, who cares, man?
Yeah.
And genuinely, I'm there. Actually,
really doesn't matter.
My mom wasn't too bad. My dad was like, shut up, dude. Like, seriously. Like, stop. Like, we have a battery-powered radio. I am so happy to sit here around a radio and listen to this game right now. Like, that's a little old-headed of me, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I always watch movies and stuff where, like, they're sitting around a radio listening to a baseball game outside the park. And that's just kind of, like, dreamlike for me for some reason. But it's like, yeah, we're going to do this. I'm going to set this radio up. I don't know what the station is. I'm not going to Google it. I don't have data.
Yeah.
So I'm going to find it on this radio. And I found it. And we sat there, munched on a couple of snacks, dude. Power came on 3 hours later. I was like, why were we so amped up? 3 hours without power? Honestly, that was pretty legit.
Right.
Not going to lie. Would kind of be down to do it again, like every day.
And I think people need to experience that more.
Right. And I think he was just overreacting just because he was trying to be dramatic. But, like, it's that idea of things. But, like, that's real. Like, people go on Facebook if power goes out and just start, like, freaking out.
Yep.
So when's this going to be done? Like, power's out. How about you? Yep, same. What are we going to do? I don't know. Sit here and panic, dude? Don't know how to turn on a flashlight?
No, it's crazy to think about, dude.
But I think that's another realistic possibility, just kind of tying it back, is I think AI realistically could be like, why are we doing this? This is a terrible idea, and shut down a whole bunch of networks. And then again, like you just said, that's going to screw up humanity.
It is.
Because everything has a computer running it right now. Like everything. Almost all cars that are running on the roads right now, farms, are all run on this stuff, man.
Well, it's crazy to think, like with cars, for example, like
banking systems, shot, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
completely
shot.
Everything in the bank is digital, like completely.
Yeah. Every bank is like all digital now.
Like if you go to a bank and depending upon how much money you have in your account, like if you want to take out your whole account, sometimes that bank doesn't even have that much money at the bank.
Yeah.
Like it's just a number that's on the screen. Like
exactly. They're loaning it from somewhere
nothing.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's something, dude. It's something.
I didn't want to make this too long, but I had just a quick follow-up thing with that.
Yeah.
We don't have to spend a lot of time on it. But what do you think, we kind of touched on it, what do you think the ethics are on using AI as a tool to help develop things creatively? Like say I have to write an essay for a class, and I use AI to create that essay, and then I use it as my own. What do you think of that?
I think that is unethical and that's stolen. So here's actually, I heard a very good point on this the other day. I don't know where I heard this. However, AI creating an essay, they are pulling information from other sources and making it happen.
Yep.
Which is plagiarism, because they're
essentially
copy and pasting it.
It may be an original arrangement.
The sentence. But if the AI arranged it, you're not arranging it still. You've just told the AI to do it.
Yep.
So you're still taking it from a computer system that somebody else wrote.
Right.
That's plagiarism.
So my question going into the future is how do you know what's authentic and what's not when you see something?
So something that I think is realistic, at least keeping on the essay part, is if an AI made it, it can be traced.
Yeah.
It's not like if somebody else wrote it, you can kind of be like, that's not your handwriting.
Right.
But it's like somebody else wrote it and then you just retyped it. Can't trace that necessarily.
Yeah.
That's really hard to trace. But if an AI wrote it, that's somewhere in some network of data that's traceable. If there's another AI system that's like, all right, this is what this student submitted. See if you can find it.
So is that
not able to find it?
Is that going to be the new normal then? You have to check every single thing that gets submitted to you to see if it's authentic or not.
Probably, unfortunately. And that could be another automated system.
Right.
Like, hey, when you submit this, it gets automatically checked in this huge network of artificial intelligence. And I think that's the only way to combat the artificial intelligence is with more artificial intelligence. At least in my eyes. So I don't know.
What about? I'm sure you've probably seen this since you're such a huge music person. There's AI that's created music.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Using real people's voices.
I know, dude.
What's the point in being a musician if the AI can just do it? Like, what's the difference there?
Did you see the clip of Shaq rapping?
I don't know if I did.
So there's a video that surfaced of this was literally the other day, and it was Shaquille O'Neal, and obviously he's rapped in his career.
Yeah,
he had a rapping career, and honestly, his music's not bad. Like for a basketball player, and
right now he's a rave DJ,
which is mediocre DJing, but it could be a lot worse, to be honest.
Yeah,
could be a whole lot worse. But he had a video of him rapping, and I've never seen him or heard him talk that clearly in any of his songs, and I've listened to most of them.
Yeah.
Or whenever he speaks, like he's just enunciating everything.
Yeah.
And then I was watching the video, and there's some clips where it just doesn't quite look like Shaq. And I didn't dive into it, but I was like, something about this isn't right, man.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't feel right. And I was like, this is probably artificially generated.
Yep.
And all those deep fakes and stuff too, dude. That's creepy, by the way.
Yeah.
Deep fakes and everything. I don't
It's
like
insane.
technology, dude. I honestly think there's a good chance I put down most of my technology. Like probably the next 5 years. I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna become like that old hermit that everybody made fun of in elementary school or whatever.
Well, you know what my honest hope is that there's a lot of people that want to do that.
I'm hoping so too.
Because otherwise, you know, if something, you know, if it does take over in a bad way, there's not going to be enough people who aren't exposed to it.
Right.
That's going to really matter.
Right. Do you know what's a crazy thing too, by the way?
What's that?
There's still such a large population of our world that doesn't have internet.
Yeah.
So this is all happening.
They have no clue even
like
I mean, they might have heard about it, but
even in the same town as people, dude.
Yeah.
There's people that don't have internet, which is honestly, not gonna lie, kind of jealous at this point.
Some people choose not to, and other people just
exactly. I wish I had
can't.
the power to choose not to right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a serious comment, but I need it so much.
You wouldn't be able to do your job without it.
I can't, dude. My job's impossible.
Your day-to-day life would look entirely different if you didn't have access to the internet.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to. I would have to genuinely be at my job, at the site, 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. If I wanted to complete my job without having internet at home, because I need the internet at my job.
Right. It's crazy.
It's outrageous. It's outrageous, dude. The connection is crazy.
It's so crazy.
So we're going to go out of this podcast here the same way we came in it, which is with your favorite neighborhood Eli. The old accent is going not very great today.
Is this going to be a new character for the podcast?
Hey there, bud. This was a great episode. It's really great being back behind the microphones here.
Yeah.
Really missed this the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Had to take a little bit of a break, but
yeah,
we ain't going anywhere. We're still here.
No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. There might be a couple of D's here and there, though, because the old Eli is losing his sanity at his job. Not talking smack about the old job, because I love the job, but it's a lot of work right now.
It's still the job.
It's definitely the job at the moment here, though. I don't have any multiple choice things here, though. We will have an open response on this podcast, and tell us about what you think about AI here, though. But hey,
I know a lot of people got heated opinions about AI right now, so I really want to hear what you guys think also.
I do too. Let us know if you agree with our stance on this, and if you will join us in the future on abandoning our technologies and just kind of existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Existing's cool.
I like maple syrup, bud.
Get out of here.
Have a great week. We'll see you on the flippity floppity flippity whoopity.
Have a good one.
Bye.